Los Angeles Rams. This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the gun, King. He is going to find Hill here. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 44-yard line.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here's King. Throwing on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done. That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had the incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
King now to throw on 3rd down. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a 1st down. Now they try the right side here. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Eighth play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Operating from the gun, King. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. 1-yard gains are trending. The same result on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard. but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Now Thompson, off play action. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you. I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Thompson, throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, good for a giant first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Saquon Barkley. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. That last effort is noteworthy because he just passed Tony Dorsett on the all-time rushing list. Dorsett had 12,739.
Well, rather fitting because Tony Dorsett, one of his nicknames, the Hawk. And this guy just flew right past him.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner able to record his 5th sack of the season. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Thompson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. Made at the Rams' 27-yard line.
Brandon, lest my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the 2nd time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Marcus Davenport, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now it's Barkley. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Thompson. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Thompson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Marcus Davenport racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Thompson. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. A great move in there, but it only takes him to the 7. He's dropped there. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Thompson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And that will tie us at 3-3. Well, that will go down as a 15-play drive, and it results in 3 points. So some disappointment?
It's funny. We had our conference before the game with the offensive coordinator. And what did he tell us? I just want every drive to end in a kick, right? An extra point, a punt, or a field goal. Well, in this case, I think it is a little bit of a disappointment because it did end in a kick, but that type of a drive should end in the end zone.
Now King on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
To throw is King. Off the play fake. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 38. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
This is taken at the 15. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, and the whole month of December is still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. This is Barkley. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Looking to throw. Thompson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Mack Wilson. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 2nd and 14. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. He can run for it, and he will. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him 4 yards as he does it himself, and it's a first down.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with the defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Thompson, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Gets this one to Hill. And some room to maneuver. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. King operating from the gun. It's Hill, complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
You ain't doing nothing.
2nd and 2. And that'll be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Here we go on 4th down. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
31's the mic. It's just me.
From the gun, King. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
2nd and 6. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Looking to throw. King. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal. Second and 13. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal?
95, Mike. Watch 95. Hey, let's get off the field.
Here's King. From the gun, he'll throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. Tucker's kick is good. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
The Giants
Let's go, baby.
first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Thompson now to throw on second down. That one complete to Hill. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So forget the 3 and out. The penalty makes this 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Thompson trying to lay one up deep. That's caught at the 25. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off at the 35. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. The end result, 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again, go play action, hit them over the top.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Tyreek Hill that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Switch. Watch twins.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down.
Watch tight end. Tight right. 3 down.
King now, operating from the gun. And that will be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Back to throw. King. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 45. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Barkley. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And their lead will swell up to 28. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Then he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. This is Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Now a handoff looking right. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
At the 49-yard line.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
the Giants' 43-yard line.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He may try and run for this. It's a gain of 15, and the Rams have a first down.
After that run for a first down, I don't know that confidence can be much higher for an offense. They're doing exactly what they want to do on this drive. When the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Rams on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Check 3, check 3.
Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Now King on 1st down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
It's now 3rd down and long.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. We got 3 down.
To throw is King. Throwing on 3rd and long. Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Lorenzo Carter with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
A 46-yard attempt.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
He'll go to Barkley again. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll run with Barkley. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. Here now, Johnny Townsend. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Watch out for Hill on the return. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now.
Young Trip is here, baby. Young Trip is here.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. King throwing on 4th down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 30. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So now they have to contend with second.